So what is filled inside the capsule? We have started with this slide, and where we said that what can be filled, we can fill liquid. Okay, we can fill combination of miscible liquids. That is the main purpose which these soft gelatin capsules are made. We can also, not only we can fill liquids, we can also fill the solutions. Wherever we take the solids, we mix them into the liquid and then we fill it into the capsules. The other things that we can fill is we can fill a suspension. About suspensions, we are going to talk in great detail in my next part of the lecture. Okay, where we are going to study base absorption and also the minimum factor. Okay, so we are going to suspension. So the suspensions can also be filled, and we can use different suspending agent. We can use different liquids, mix them into the solid. Okay, and we can prepare a capsulating mass, and this capsulating mass we can fill inside the soft gelatin capsules. Okay, so suspension can be filled, solutions can be filled, plain liquids can be filled. Okay, when we put liquids, okay, which is the most important liquid that can be filled is the oils. Okay, so what kind of oil can be filled? We have seen earlier that we can fill vegetable oils, we can fill like arachis oil, we can fill aromatic oils, we can fill aliphatic hydrocarbons. These oils can be filled. Okay, and it is the most soft gelatin capsule. Take oils and fill it into the soft gelatin capsule. We can also fill cordiver oils, and we can also, as I told you earlier, we can also fill the semi-solids also inside the capsule shell. Or volatile components cannot be added inside the capsule shell. Okay, because they get volatilized from the surface. For example, water, ethyl alcohol, emulsion. Now these cannot be filled inside the capsule shell. Okay. The second thing that can't be filled is the glycerin and propylene glycol. Now, glycerin and propylene glycol are part of the capsule shell. So, inside this glycerin and propylene glycol are filled. But the same glycerin and propylene glycol, they cannot be filled inside the capsule shell. Okay. So, you cannot fill glycerin and propylene glycol. Why? Because they act as plasticizer. And what is going to happen? Because of this glycerin propylene glycol or the plasticizers that have been used, if you fill them, then they are going to cause the softening of this capsule shell. This capsule shell is going to get softened off. Okay, and thereby it is going to be susceptible now to what? To the effect of heat and humidity, right? Usually you can use glycerin and propylene glycol as a co-solvent, but the quantity should be restricted to 10%. Okay, only 10% of glycerin and propylene glycol can be used as the co-solvent. But glycerin and propylene glycol as an active ingredient cannot be packed inside this capsule shell. Okay. Next thing is about the water and alcohol. I said that water and alcohol here, I can say these cannot be used, right? These cannot be directly packed inside the capsule. 10% of glycerin and propylene glycol can be used as a co-solvent, whereas 5% of water and alcohol can be used as a co-solvent, right? Moving ahead. In capsule shell, that material should have a pH of between 2.5 to 7.5. Why? Because if it is acidic in nature, because if the material is acidic in nature below 2.5, then it may cause hydrolysis and leakage of the gelatin shell, soft gelatin shell. And if it is alkaline in nature, then it can tan the gelatin. Okay. Hence, the material should be having, whatever material you are packing should be having the pH between 2.5 to 7.5. Next thing that you have to remember is that whatever liquid, solutions or suspension that you are packing should be flowable. Okay, it should be flowable by gravity, because that is the packing that is done. You form one shell of soft gelatin capsule, you form second gel of soft gelatin capsule, and then you fill. You are going to see the manufacturing procedure, and then you fill the material. Okay, so you have these two films of soft gelatin capsule, and the material comes. So this material that is coming inside should be what? It should be flowable by gravity at room temperature. Okay. Why? There are many materials which can flow at increased temperature. Okay. But you cannot increase the temperature. They should be flowable only at room temperature, because the sealing temperature of gelatin films, what happens is further, okay, from here they get sealed and then they further come down and again they join each other. So this comes down and this comes down and then they further join to each other, okay, in order to form the capsule. Okay. So this sealing temperature is in the range of 37 to 40 degrees Celsius. So what is going to happen? The liquid that you are filling is of high temperature. Then it is not going to affect into the sealing of the capsule, and the capsule may break open. Hence, the material that you are packing should be flowable at the temperature, at the room temperature. That is the another requirement that of the encapsulated material. So we have seen up till now that what are the materials that can be encapsulated. We have seen that liquids can be encapsulated, solutions can be encapsulated. We have seen suspensions can be encapsulated. We have seen oils can be encapsulated. We have seen that the different oils we talked about that can be encapsulated. Then we further went on to see what cannot be encapsulated. We have seen that water as such, alcohol, emulsions that cannot be encapsulated, propylene glycol, then glycerol, which are plasticizers that cannot be encapsulated as such, but you can use them in 10%. Water, alcohol you can use in 5% as a co-solvent that can be used, but they cannot be directly encapsulated. We have seen that the materials that is required to be encapsulated should be having a pH between 2.5 to 10.5, because at acidic pH it causes the leakage of gelatin shell. At alkaline pH it causes tanning of gelatin shell. We have seen that the liquids that you are going to encapsulate, it should be free flowing at room temperature, because if you increase the temperature, then it is going to affect the sealing of the gelatin, okay, and formation of the capsule shell, right? Moving ahead. Now, usually what is encapsulated is the liquids. These are very good to encapsulate, except for one process, okay, that is Ecogel process. The machine is known as Ecogel, okay. So except for Ecogel process, what you encapsulate is usually the solution or suspension. These are the materials that you encapsulate. But when you use Ecogel process, what you are encapsulating is the solids. So solids can also be encapsulated inside a capsule, soft gelatin capsule, and that process is known as Ecogel process, which we are going to see further, okay. Except for Ecogel process, the substances that are encapsulated inside the soft gelatin capsules are either solutions or suspensions, right? Now moving ahead. Now usually when you are encapsulating a material, solution is usually preferred, okay, over a suspension when you are encapsulating. So as far as possible, what you try to do is you try to prepare a solution of the solid material. Now you have to incorporate a solid material. Now this solid material can be encapsulated as such inside the capsule shell, okay, inside the capsule shell. The process is known as Ecogel, right? That is the only way that you can incorporate. Usually what you do is this solid is now converted into either a solution or it is either converted into a suspension. What we are trying to say is that converting into a solution is the best option. Why it is the best option? Because it gives you better uniformity, it gives you better stability, and it gives you better biopharmaceutical, that is the absorption, adsorption, etc., that kind of a property. Hence, what we prefer is solution over a suspension, right? Now when we talk about solution, supposing you are trying to prepare a solution, then it is also very important when you are trying to prepare a liquid, then it is very important that what is the quantity of material that can be filled inside this capsule shell. So you have a capsule shell, you have a size of capsule. How much amount of liquid, okay, or suspension can be filled inside the capsule? Okay, so the maximum fill volume is near about 16 to 20 minims. If you see the conversion, 16.23 minims is to 1 ml. This you are going to require further for calculation. Remember this formula, that is 16.23 minims is equals to 1 ml. So how much maximum amount can be filled? The maximum amount that can be filled is 1.21 to 1.25 ml. That is the general dose that can be filled inside the capsules. Now, as we have said, solids, if they are not soluble, then what we have to do is we have to convert them into suspension. So we prefer solutions over suspension. We are going to prefer solutions over suspension. But the problem is that everything cannot be converted into a solution, right? So in that case, what we have to do is we have to prepare the suspension, and this suspension needs to be filled inside the capsule shell. When we are going to prepare a suspension which needs to be encapsulated, then there are certain basic information which are needed in order to determine the capsule size. In order to determine the capsule size, there are certain basic things that are required. Those are known as base adsorption, okay, base adsorption of solids which need to be converted into a suspension, and minimum per gram factor. Please pay very good attention on both these topics in my next session. Okay, little bit difficult to understand, but if you pay attention, it will be quite easier for you. Okay. Yeah. Now, what is base adsorption? As I told you, now base adsorption, etc., or minimum factor, these two are required when you want to pack a suspension inside a capsule shell. At this time, it is required. When directly encapsulating a vegetable oil, no need of it. When you are encapsulating a solution, no need of it. Okay. Or when you are capsulating directly a solid with the help of aquagel process inside the soft gelatin capsule, can also that can also you don't require it. Okay. But this base adsorption is required when you are preparing a suspension. So what is base adsorption of solid? It is expressed as the number of grams of liquid base, okay, or quantity of liquid base required to produce a capsulatable mixture. So you have a solid, right? You have a solid. In this solid, how much grams of liquid needs to be added so that we can produce a capsulatable material, a capsulatable mixture. Now, what is capsulatable mixture? The mixture that can easily flow inside the capsule shell. So you have a capsule shell, okay? Inside this capsule shell, this material should easily flow. That kind of material is known as capsulatable material. So how much gram of liquid needs to be added into this, okay, in order to produce a capsulatable material, right? So that it can be filled inside the capsule shell. So that much grams of liquid base is nothing but the base adsorption. So it is expressed as the number of grams of liquid base, that is liquid or vehicle. So what are the liquids and vehicles that can be used? There are different liquid bases that can be used. You can use vegetable oil, you can use PEG 400, you can use polysorbate 80, you can use glyceryl monooleate, and number of materials can be used in order to prepare this capsulatable mixture. So how much amount of this material is required to be added in order to prepare the capsulatable material? That is nothing but the base adsorption. Okay. Now this base adsorption is affected by many things. It is of the solids. So what is the shape and size of the solid? what is the physical state of the solid, whether it is a fibrous material with amorphous form, whether it is in crystalline form. That also affects the base adsorption. The base adsorption is affected by density, moisture content, oleophilic, whether the substance is oleophilic in nature, whether the substance is hydrophilic in nature. Okay, it also depends upon that. So this is about base adsorption. Now, why do you base adsorption? The base adsorption is basically required in order to calculate the gram main. Okay, so in order to calculate the gram main, you require this base adsorption. Now, what is the method that is used to calculate this base adsorption of solid? So what you do is you take some quantity of solid, definite amount of solid. Usually the preferred amount of solid is 40 grams. Okay, so 40 grams of solid is being taken, and this 40 grams of solid is put inside a beaker which is already been tared. So you take a beaker which is tared, right? You take 40 grams of solid, and this 40 grams of solid is put inside it. In a separate beaker, you have another beaker. In this another beaker, what you take is you take the liquid base. This is another 150 ml beaker. So 250 ml beaker. In one you put the solid 40 grams. In other you put 100 grams of your liquid base. So you have put the 100 grams of liquid base. And now slowly and steadily, this liquid mixture is added into this solid. Okay. And with the help of spatula, you are stirring it till you get a soft ointment. Okay, so soft ointment is produced. By adding this, you produce a soft ointment, right? Then you further go on adding this liquid, okay, till you get a mixture that flows from the spatula. So you hold the spatula at 45, you are mixing it with the help of spatula. The same spatula आप लेते हो, and then you hold it at the angle of 45-degree angle. So you hold the spatula 45-degree angle, and this material, whatever the material in which you are adding this, liquid base, this solid material should now flow, okay, from this spatula. So we can say it is a capsulatable material, right? Because you require a capsulatable material. So this mixtures flow steadily from the spatula when you held the spatula at 45-degree angle. When you do this, then you can say now the material is capsulatable. And now you calculate the base adsorption. This base adsorption is calculated with the formula of weight of base. Weight of base is the amount of, this base. So when you have added, you get a base, capsulatable base. This capsulatable base ka weight aap lete ho. What is the weight of this capsulatable base? And how you take it? You take it after homogenization and after deaeration. So you have added the liquid into the solid. This has become capsulatable now. It is flowing. So this material, now what you can do is, you take the weight of this material and you take the weight of solid. Weight of solid is how much? 40. We have already taken 40 grams. Okay. So 40 grams weight. Upon you take the weight of base, let us assume that the weight of base has now become, say, 60 grams. Just for an example, after addition of liquid. So you will do 40 upon 60. Okay. And then you will calculate the base adsorption. So this is how you get the base adsorption. But before doing that, before you calculate the weight of the base, what you are going to do is you are going to homogenize it and you are going to deaerate it. Now, many a times, the substance do not get wetted easily. In such cases, if the solid is not getting wetted easily with the help of the liquid base, okay, then what you can do is you can add wetting agent. Okay, they are seldom required. If required, you can add them to the base, right? And example of the wetting agent that can be added are soy lecithin, which can be used in the concentration of 2 to 3%. Okay, these can be added in order to have the wetting of. Clear till here? Have you understood this? Anybody who has not understood base absorption up till now, please do tell me. Now, if you have one question, high bioavailability, I didn't understand this. It was just a response, I think so. It was not a question. Okay. Anybody else who has not understood it, please write down in the chat box. Anybody who has not understood, please write down in the chat box. Okay. If you have understood this, then I can move further. So now up till now, what you have done is you have calculated the base absorption. Okay, if you have not understood it and if you want me to repeat it, you can just put it in the chat box. I've kept the chat box open for 1 or 2 minutes. Right. Now, as I was telling you, we have now calculated the base adsorption of the solid, which we cannot. Okay, Kamlesh has asked me to repeat it. I'll just repeat it once. Okay. Yeah. Now, Kamlesh, what we have trying to do it now, if it is liquid, then there is no need, I said, to calculate this minimum factor, etc. Now, just imagine that you are trying to fill the suspension. Okay, we are trying to prepare a suspension which is to be filled inside the capsule. When we are trying into this capsule shell, what we are trying to fill is we are trying to fill the suspension. When we are trying to fill the suspension, there are two things which are very important. You require to calculate the base adsorption, and from base adsorption, you need to calculate the minimum per gram factor. Okay, so these two things are important. Now we first went on to, this is when you require to pack a suspension. Okay, so we first went on to see what is the base adsorption. We said that the base adsorption is expressed as a number of grams of liquid base, okay, which are required to be added inside a solid so that you produce a capsulatable mixture. So we have a solid which we want to pack. We cannot pack it directly, so we are converting into a suspension. In order to convert it into a suspension, we require to add some liquid base to it, right? So we have calculated how much is the quantity that is required to be added in order to convert it into a capsulatable mixture. Capsulatable mixture is the mixture which flows easily in gravity, with the help of gravity, inside this capsule shell is going to be the capsulatable mixture. What are the liquids that can be added to this solid? Number of liquids can be added. For example, vegetable oil, PEG 400, polysorbate, glycerol monooleate. These are few of the examples which can be added to this solid and converted into a suspension. And this suspension can now be further added inside the capsule. Okay, capsule shell. Clear till here? Moving ahead, we have seen that the base adsorption of solid is influenced by size and shape. It is influenced by its physical state, that is fibrous, amorphous, crystalline. It is influenced by density, moisture content, whether the substance is oleophilic in nature or hydrophilic in nature. Okay, depending upon this, base adsorption is being affected. Now we went on further to see that how do you determine this base adsorption. For that, what you do is you take 2 beakers of 150 ml each, right? Both are tared, right? Then what you do is you take 40 grams of solid inside this. You take 100 ml of liquid base inside this, and slowly and steadily you add this liquid into this solid, right? When you add this liquid into the solid, then what you are going to get? You are going to further initially get the soft ointment. You're further going to go on adding till you get a mixture which flows from the spatula blade when you held it at an angle of 45 degrees. So it flows. That kind of material you get. Once you get that kind of material, you stop addition of this. You now don't add further this. What you are going to do is you are going to calculate this weight, right? So that you get the weight of the base. So now you get the weight of the base. Okay. Weight of the solid you already know is 40 grams, right? I said supposing the weight of the base is 60 grams. So 60 upon 40 is going to give you what? It is going to give you the base adsorption. This 60 is going to be weight of this material, which is now flowable. Okay. That material is 60 grams. Your weight of the solid is 40 grams and you calculate the base adsorption. Okay. Further, I said that there are some solids which cannot be wetted very easily. In such cases, you can add wetting agent. Example of it is soy lecithin, which can be added in the concentration of 2 to 3%. Okay, got it? And when you are calculating this weight of the base, you first have to I told you further. Is it clear now, Kamlesh? Okay, fine, good. Moving further now to minimum gram factor. Okay, as I told you, minimum gram factor is calculated once you know the base absorption. So the base absorption is determined, is used to determine the minimum gram factor, which is given by the unit m/g of the solid. Now, what is minimum gram factor? It is the volume in minims that is occupied by 1 gram of solid, okay, plus the weight of the liquid base, that is base adsorption. Okay, so you have base adsorption plus volume in minims that is occupied by 1 gram of solid, okay, in order to make a capsulatable mixture. Okay, so the volume, जितना कितना volume हमने add किया, here we added, isn't it? We took 100 ml, and from that 100 ml we added some volume. So how much volume was added, right? Base adsorption we have already calculated, right? So these two ka addition, so addition of these two, okay, upon the total weight W, okay, will give you the volume. So that much volume can be encapsulated, or volume of mixture in minimum required for the solid drug to produce a mixture to be encapsulated. Kindly remember this formula that will give you minimum gram. Kindly just formula. This formula you are going to use further for the calculation. Even if you have not understood this, need not worry. When we see further the problem, you will be again able to understand this. Okay. So let us move further. Okay. Right. So the minimum gram factor by dividing the weight of the base. Okay. So this is the weight of the base plus the gram of solid. Okay. So BA plus BS by the weight of the total mixture. So this is the weight of the total mixture. Okay. Got it? So weight of the base plus gram of solid upon the weight of the total mixture, okay, into the volume of the soft gelatin capsule is going to give you the minimum gram. Usually this weight of SC, volume of SCG, you need to calculate. Okay. Now let us, one thing that you have to remember is lower the base adsorption of the solid, okay, higher is the density of the mixture and smaller is going to be the, so the low, so the base adsorption should be as low as possible. If the base adsorption is lower, then the smaller capsule size will be required because the density of the mixture is going to increase. As the density of mixture is increasing, hence smaller capsule size is required. So absorption better it is for the mixture. Let us further how to calculate with the problem of how to calculate the capsule size. I will show you one problem, okay, that will clear the concept of your minimum gram also. Now, let us take an example that you want to prepare a soft gelatin capsule, right? So, while preparing a soft gelatin capsule of a drug, the dose of the drug is 2 grams, okay? The dose of the drug is 2 grams. So, this is the total solid. Barabar hai? So this is the weight of the total solid that is required, W, which you have to convert it into what? Which you have to convert it into the suspension. Clear till here? Its base absorption is 0.75 gram. It's 40 grams. In this 40 grams, we have added some liquid. Okay. Okay. The liquid that was added was vegetable oil, right? So vegetable oil was added. So for 40 grams, how much must be required? So if the base adsorption is 0.75, so I don't know how much would be required. Fine. So it was added, right? So this vegetable oil was added into it. 1 gram was added into it in order to get a liquid base. And base adsorption is 0. Clear? Got it? Now the base adsorption is 0.75. 1 gram of liquid oil was added. So this is the 1 gram of liquid that was added into this. Let us cancel this. So 2 grams mein they have added 1 gram, and when you add this 1 gram vegetable oil into this 2 grams, you have got a mixture that is capsulatable. Clear till here? The base adsorption was found to be 0.75. Now the question is, the Minningham factor, okay, after calculation is 25. Okay, the calculations you have already done. You have found out the Minningham factor. Now what you want to find out is, you want to find out the amount of volume of SCG. How much amount of volume of SCG is required. So what you are going to do is, this 25 is nothing but the Minningham factor. Okay, so this is mg 25. This you have taken over here. This is the BA, that is base adsorption, that we have taken over here. This is the volume of the liquid that is required, that is 1 we have taken over here. And this is the weight of the solid. This we are going to find out. That is the volume of SCG, soft gelatin capsule volume, we are going to find out. So now V is going to be, this 2 is going to be multiplied over here. So this is going to be 50 and this is going to be 1.75. So 50 upon 1.75 you are going to do. So 50 upon 1.75 is going to give you the value of 28.57 minnings. Okay, so this volume comes in minnings, right? The conversion factor is 16.23 minutes is equals to 1 ml. So 28.57 minims is going to be 28.57 into 1 divided by 16.23. The value that comes is 1.57 ml. So the SCG of drugs which is need to be encapsulated is 1.57 ml. So when you prepare the suspension, how much quantity of liquid that you have to add of this suspension inside this soft gelatin capsule is 1.57 ml. Okay, so this much volume of suspension if you add inside this soft gelatin capsule shell, then the dose of 2 grams of the solid is going to go inside the person.